Folks, Brian Blessing hanging out here in Las Vegas. Everybody fired up. We got big action in horse racing, golf this weekend, but we know what's taking center stage. We've got the NFL Week 2, college football, and on a Friday, we have college football action to speak of as well. We'll dive into some of the big adjustments and line moves that we've noticed on the wagering board after Week 1. OddsWorthBetting.com, they're there doing their homework. They've got you covered with the featured pick of the day. It comes to you right below this video. Fired up for a busy weekend from a college football perspective. A couple of games on Friday night that are actually marginally interesting. It's always interesting when it's on the wagering board. Florida State, Boston College. Florida State, 7.5 consensus favorites on the road. The total's 47.5. The bottom line is BC's just got a penchant for playing these guys tough, so that's an interesting game. And then New Mexico against Arizona State. Arizona State was humbled by Texas A&M. New Mexico can score a pretty stout running game, but they have one of the worst defenses in the country. Total on the game is 65.5, and Arizona State is a 27.5 point favorite in that one. Friday, Major League Baseball, pennant races continue. Look into these weekend sets and some of the bigger series. Boston's at Toronto, Porcello versus Stroman. There's a rematch of a game last week. I think Porcello actually got the nod there. Some of the other ones, Seattle is at Texas. Will the Mariners embrace the role as spoiler? Paxton goes versus Gallardo. Texas was a really cool value play about 3 weeks ago, starting to make a push at Houston, and there was a big number out there on them from a future odds perspective. Now, if they win the division, that number is going to dip dramatically. We'll be following that. Pittsburgh's made a great push at the end of the year, chasing down the Cardinals. They're at Los Angeles. Now, who knows if Pittsburgh doesn't win the Central, and it's a one-game wild card, but they win, there's a chance that this is a National League Divisional Series preview. Pittsburgh and the Dodgers, lock those versus Greinke. Pretty interesting pitching matchup in that one. Minnesota trying to kick the door down in the final few weeks of the season here. They're hosting the Angels. It's going to be Mike Pelfrey, pretty inconsistent on the hill, going against Andrew Haney. And then the Yankees have a date with the Mets on Friday night. It's Tanaka versus Steven Matz, so that bears watching. And then the NFL, we're looking forward to the weekend, Week 2 in the NFL, full slate of games now, just the one Monday night game. The Colts, off the loss at Buffalo, have got the Jets on Monday night. Just some of the interesting ones. You're looking at Arizona's only a 1.5 point favorite at Chicago. St. Louis, an inflated number against Washington after beating Seattle. Atlanta and the Giants. Atlanta hangs on for dear life, and the Giants gave one away. That's an interesting football game. Baltimore, from a betting perspective, take note. Back-to-back games on the West Coast, but they didn't go home. Smart move, smart organization. They stayed on the West Coast. And then, of course, Sunday Night Football, Seattle, Green Bay. Seattle getting 3.5 points here. Green Bay struggled at times with Chicago, and I think people just don't realize how often St. Louis steps up in division play and gives teams fits. And you're getting 3.5 with the Seattle Seahawks in that spot. It's an interesting weekend. OddsWorthBetting.com always has you covered. The featured pick of the day. It's available to you right below this video. I'll be heading downtown. We'll give you some flair for Fremont Street in the book downtown at the Golden Nugget as well. It's going to be a great weekend. We've got you covered right here, scoresandodds.com. Check out the featured pick of the day from OddsWorthBetting.com. It comes to you right below this video.